Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be reviewing Hades from Hercules, and this is part of the Walt Disney Classics Collection line. As you know, this line has made hundreds of Disney figurines in three-dimensional form using the medium of porcelain. And of course, porcelain is a very rare thing to get nowadays in figures. People usually use resin these days because it's easier to cast and make, and it's also cheaper overall. But I think porcelain has a certain glaze over it and a certain softer quality, which I like compared to those resin figures because they tend to be really hard edged, and actually they leave a lot of imperfections from the original sculpture. But porcelain tends to kind of smooth over that because porcelain is just generally a smoother surface to work on. Um, Going back to this piece, I actually didn't discover this. I discovered this piece later on as I started collecting more and more characters from the line, and I just kind of found him through other collectors' pictures, and I saw the way when they display him compared to other, even quite tall figures. For example, like Jafar. Yeah, I mean, he's known as a pretty tall villain, but this guy really just towers over them. I mean, it makes sense because from a story perspective, he's the god of the underworld. I mean, he's one of the only gods in the entire Disney character line. So of course, it made sense for him to tower over everyone else, and of course, they probably goes back to the animated model sheet and made sure that his proportion is similar to Hercules's and Meg's, which is also part of the line as well. So yeah, he's a pretty tall guy. I bet he's about almost 13 inches tall, which is quite rare for porcelain figures to get that tall. They're usually around the 10-inch mark, and to get to 13-inch, that's really impressive. So I always thought to myself, man, this guy is a really good value because as much I mean I wouldn't probably pay more than $500 for him probably, but at that price is a really good value because this guy is just huge. I mean, you can see the enormity of, I mean, this is my hand right here. I mean if you look at my hand for comparison right there, it's very huge. I mean, yeah, this guy is probably about 2 pounds in weight. So as you can see, this figure really captures sort of like the billowing smoke from the bottom of his robe right there. It really captures that animated quality from the movie. You can really feel the smoke just continuing to sort of like wave gently as he as he as he's trying to seduce Hercules to hand over his powers. I do believe this part takes place in the scene where actually he and Hercules first meets, and that's about like almost three-quarter through the movie. Um, I can tell because of the pose and also the name of the figurine itself. The title of the figurine is called name's Hades, Lord of the Dead, which is the phrase that he says when he's introducing himself to Hercules for the first time. As you can see, he has a pretty cocky pose right there. Um, Let me get you closer right there, but yeah, you do have to tilt your camera a little bit towards the top view, but yeah, you can see he has a very detailed face, and I mean it's straight out of the animated movie. I mean, you can see the really sharp nose right there, the really sharp design inspired by the Greek arts, and you can see his little hair right there. Well, almost it's like his fire of hair. It's just sort of like his blue fiery hair. You can see all the detail of his robes right there. I mean, it's quite amazing what these lines can do. I wish Disney still does these today, but as Disney today is more driven by profit than actually providing. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Disney, but in the end, I'm still a customer. And if I have to pay the money, they have to give me they have to deliver me the goods, and if it's not as good, then I can't pay that much money anymore. I can't spend my money on them unless, you know, they deliver qualities like these days. But you know, they don't, so that's why I stick to these collection line these days. I don't buy much Disney merchandise actually. I mean, I consider a lot of them to be just like a passing thing, you know. I mean, of course, there are still a lot of people today that sort of like drive the traffic for Disney merchandise, but you know, those people are not usually die-hard Disney collectibles. You know, a lot of people loves Disney, but there are a few who really loves Disney, you know, who loves all the characters equally, who doesn't only love certain main characters, who knows most of the movie lines by heart. And well, that's me. I can pretty much recite any of the Disney movies. I mean, I would suppose about 80% of them I can much recite by heart, you know, from beginning to end. I mean, I've watched these movies countless times, and I'm so glad, you know, because of course today we don't get a lot of Hades merchandise, so it's really nice to have him in sculpture form and in the most accurate, detailed way possible, you know. As you pan down here, you can see the bottom of his robe right there, where it kind of merges into smoke. Yeah, I mean, it's quite wonderful. You can see the swirl and the really soft shape. I mean, it's very wonderful. You can see his little skull pin there. His sly smile. I mean, you can just really feel James Woods' voice coming out of those mouth. I mean, you can just start imagining all the lines that Hades, all the memorable lines that Hades says in the movie. That continues through the back right there. I mean, he has a pretty similar base, sort of like Ursula, you know, where with the way her tentacles just sort of like just kind of just has a mind of its own, you know, just kind of slithers around her, or in this case him. Yeah, it's a very beautiful piece, and I'm so glad I was able to acquire this one. So that's pretty much it, everyone. So thank you so much for watching this review, and like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me more about your collection stories. And thanks for watching, and have a good day. Bye.